Good morning.
Oh my God, are we live?
Caller with Rhonda and Cynthia. Rhonda's having technical issues this morning in her brain. Cynthia is here. I'm here, and we're so glad to see all of you.
Thank you.
Cynthia's just been away. I think just about 2 weeks on to her place in France, and
That's right.
she's going to tell us why it's so important to get away once in a while.
Yes, it is. Well, I will tell you this. The first reason why it's so important for me to get away is so that Jason Lego can be here in this place because that show last week or 2 weeks ago was the bomb. I really enjoyed watching it.
Thank you. He was so gracious to
It
come and
was a
join us
great
today.
show.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thank you.
I need to miss Help at the Cooler more often. Then I get to watch Jason and you, have a great session. It was a great topic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And actually,
Jason.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. Thanks for replacing me. You couldn't grow your hair in time, but
We'll give him
um,
a wig.
yeah. Next time we'll get him a big curly Afro wig, to wear, and then he can maybe say put on some glasses and be like, yeah, I'm Cynthia today. Yeah, getting away. Well, actually, that's a great example of why getting away is really important because it allows you to approach things from a different angle. I mean, I actually got to approach the show from a different angle because when I came back, I was like, oh, let's see, what Rhonda talked about. And then I noticed that Rhonda got a celebrity guest on the show. So it's like, wow, the things that are possible when you get away, when you get out of your way.
He's
Um,
just a super person.
he really is. He really is. I'm a fan, and now I'm even more of a fan.
Oh, he's a fan of yours too.
He's like he is our first guest, and I really will say I see him as a celebrity guest. Like I am so honored that he was part of the show. I was so tickled.
Well, we
So
don't have to have a celebrity guest once a month, but both of us can be present.
Rhonda, you are brilliant, but I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. We should start tapping into some. I can already think of 3 people that we could
Well,
maybe bring on the show.
give them a call.
No probs, will do. So my trip to France. So it was a road trip. We wanted to make things easy because of all of the things that are going on with coronavirus and changing laws and such. We just thought going to an airport was probably not the most convenient decision to make, or the most flexible decision to make. And because I had planned on summer weather, I did not bother to really pay attention to the weather report. So I did look at the weather reports and they forecasted cold weather, but I guess I just ignored it because all I packed were tank tops and t-shirts,
No.
shorts. I had one pair of jeans, which I was wearing. Not even a cardigan. Not even a cardigan. So I was basically freezing my patootie off in France. It rained most of the time we were there. And I actually have to say, I had a great time. And this is the reason why. Because I was not in my house. So, yes, we looked around and we noticed, oh, this hinge needs to be replaced. And we did a little bit of light repairs and, things like that. But it's so great to shut down, unplug, be in a completely different, let's say, environment. And truly, it's the environment in your mind. Like, by shutting down and just kind of like changing your perspective, or changing your environment helps you change your perspective. And it reminded me like how important it is to have that headspace and to enjoy that headspace. And so I used my towel a lot for warmth. I did a lot of reading fiction. I powered through a couple of books, also listened to some audiobooks on the drive. But really nothing that was work related on my freelance side and on my internet marketing side. Nothing that was work related kind of came into that space.
Like you were off the grid, weren't you?
I was so off the grid,
Yeah.
and it couldn't have happened sooner because I realized while I was away that I was kind of like approaching burnout. And I think a lot of people in internet marketing, we are doers. We value action, and it is important in order to move forward. But I think there's the problem with that is that we forget to take care of ourselves, that we put action and constant activity ahead of sort of tending to yourself and enjoying rest. We actually do happen to have jets in our bathtub in France, so thank God, because it was so cold. Actually, the only reason why I wanted to like test it out was because it was so cold, and it was one way of staying warm. But it was really important. Like, when you're in a bathtub that's shooting bubbles and jets and everything, there's really not much else that you can do. I mean, you're basically just soaking in a tub for, a certain period of time. But that's important. Like, doing nothing is important as well. And so I think that was like the big lesson for me that I only realized when I was in a forced place of doing nothing, not being able to plug in. They're really, like, Wi-Fi is so lousy out where we have a little place that it's more frustrating to try to log on. But being forced to unplug made me realize, like, actually this is nice, because I was like this close to frying. Yeah. So it was just in the nick of time. And I think when we came back actually over the weekend. And I also took a few days off before getting back into the grind. And just to kind of ease myself in, go through all of my emails, sort of pop into social media. That it was, I did when I came back, I was able to step away.
Right.
I could check my emails for a certain amount of time, but I could walk away from my emails for a certain amount of time as well. And I definitely was not in that place right before going on a break. And I think maybe that's the big lesson. And I think everybody should plan some break. Even if you're not going anywhere, that you should even create like an artificial lie to all of your friends and family and say, I'm going to be away for 2 days, lock the door, put down all of the blinds, shut down your computer, just watch movies and eat popcorn. It doesn't matter. Walk around in your towel, and just allow yourself to like be in a no obligation, no need to perform, no need to produce space. I think that's super important. That I think that was my biggest lesson. And actually, when my husband and we came back, my husband even said, Cynthia, I feel really creative. Like by the time we got back to the house, he had like lots of ideas, a fresh way to approach things. Because he had also stopped playing with editing software. I mean, we did take little videos of our trip, and we took photographs and things like that, mostly of the rain or even just around our space. But when we came back, because we had gotten off of our routine and trying to fit everything in, he was able to say, like, I feel really creative. And I think I do too. Like, I have a story idea that I want to work on. Yeah, the like ideas are starting to flow. There's a certain excitement for the next step. There's also a new approach towards things. So I
So
feel
it'll
like
give
it's
you a chance to get rid of the clutter in your head.
yes, yes, yes. And doing like some of the stuff that we did is stuff that it's like super tedious, but like we have this balcony on our little apartment. There's a balcony and it's kind of tucked in. And I think because of that, like when the wind blows, it'll carry like the pollen and the dust or whatever, and it'll just kind of like swirl and collect on the balcony. And so, like, cleaning off the pollen from the balcony is actually like quite a bit of work because I don't know if people know this, but like if you let pollen kind of like sit there for a while and get damp, it gets kind of sticky. Like you actually, when you sweep it, you can't just sweep it away. You have to kind of like soap it. I mean, like we used to brush and soap, and we were kind of like soaping it off of our balcony, Yeah. So, but things like that, they're like, it's just time to connect. Like when you wash the dishes after dinner, your mind kind of like is released of your thoughts of the daily grind. That's a vacation right there, doing your dishes.
So you had a chance to be, just to be and to connect with your loved one.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you'll hear me complaining about the fact that it was freezing. Well, it wasn't freezing, but it was really cold. It was like October in New York or Massachusetts. It was really cold, really. And but I think because of that, like there was no longer the pressure of like, what are we going to do today? Where are we going to go? Like, what are we going to see? Like, what experience are we going to have for ourselves? So actually, it turned out to be a good thing because it was like, well, guess we'll just stay around the house and fix things and clean things because, we didn't put that pressure on ourselves to like take action, do things, have experiences. I mean, we did remember our umbrellas, but it was too cold for me to go anywhere.
So you get away to freeze your butt off.
God, I was so like that was irresponsible packing. I do not recommend.
Well, that's how badly you needed to get away. That's what that tells me because I've done that too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I can't stand to be cold. So,
Mm-mm.
um,
Mm-mm.
well, let's summarize what I think you told us today.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, and I'm so glad to have you back because I was really tongue-tied last week, and I realized you weren't there, and I had to completely shoot off the cuff, and that is not one of my strengths. Never was. Well, it depends on what I'm doing, but I'll be getting away with some girls Monday. We're gonna take a trip down to see another friend near Canandaigua Lake. So it'll be a girl day, and we always
Okay.
have fun together and laugh a lot. So I think we all need that too.
Yes, that's super important. That's a way of unplugging too. Just totally changing your routine.
Yes. So, so if I heard you right, it gave you a chance to slow down a little bit. It cleared your head of the clutter, so you could be open to some new things, and to be in the creativity with Luna came out of that, and with yourself, I'm sure. Uh, and it gave you time to connect not only with yourself, but spiritually and with your loved one.
Yes.
And to be cool.
And to be cold. And to take hot baths.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially with the bubbles. Did I hear you say you had bubbles in there? Good.
Yeah, I had bubbles and jets. Because when you have the jets and the bubbles, it kind of goes crazy.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah.
I think the only thing missing from that is Luna standing nearby throwing rose petals on the bubbles.
Yeah, he doesn't have that kind of patience.
Well, he's very high energy.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
That. Yeah. So
yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's about it for here. It sounds like.
Yeah.
The importance of getting away.
Yep.
Clears your head of the clutter.
Yep.
Get a chance to reconnect.
Yep.
Do some errands if you want. To slow down.
Slow down.
Now your creative juices are running again. So
they are. They are. And I am recharged. And I guess probably just to add to all of that, anybody who's thinking about getting away, even if it means escaping to your treehouse or, your man cave or whatever it is, don't overplan it. Like, don't plan it.
Yeah.
Just escape, unplug, and just let your brain kind of rest. Just enjoy yourself,
And what a difference it makes.
It does.
For the family too.
For everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was my vacation in a nutshell.
Well, that's a lot. That's huge. And thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me back again.
Being back with me on Helping the Cooler with Rhonda and Cynthia. So
yes,
we appreciate those of you who are visiting today, and we will see you next week while Cynthia works on a celebrity guest.
I will
for next week, but
might not be next week, but I'll reach out to a couple folks.
Yes, sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
And take care of yourselves.
Yes, take care.